Mandy and Andy in a daycare. Mandy and Andy were on their way with Uncle Tobias to visit their cousin Cindy, who lived in the city with her parents. "It's nice to meet Cindy after a long time," said Mandy. "We were so young the last time we met that I don't remember much about her." "It's shame she doesn't have a brother," said Andy. "Then I would have a friend there too." When they arrived in town, they searched for a while until they found the right address. And there the cat's family was already waving from the window. Then they shared news at the coffee table. "I'm in a daycare," Cindy announced right away. Andy was amazed. "In a daycare?" he wondered. "What's that?" "It's a place where children are cared for during the day while their parents are at work," explained Cindy's mother. Andy thought for a moment. "But if they're in a daycare during the day, where are they at night? In a night care?" "He he he," laughed Uncle Tobias. "Our children don't know anything about daycare, because they've never been in one," he explained. Cindy immediately began to describe what it's like in a daycare. "Mom takes me there in the morning before she goes to work and picks me up in the afternoon. There we play all kinds of nice games and do crafts and sing and eat and take naps and play and—" "I would like to visit a daycare someday too," Mandy said excitedly. "I believe that can be arranged somehow," said Cindy's mother. For thumbs to action, the next morning Mandy, Andy, and Uncle Tobias set off with Cindy and her mother towards the daycare. When they arrived, there were already other children there. The daycare nanny, Fiona Fox, welcomed them. "Mandy and Andy would like to see what daycare is like." "Well, that's all right. You can stay here all day if you want." Mandy and Andy then got to know their new friends. There was Brianna Bunny, Hans Hedgehog, Billy Bear, and many others. The day began with a morning session. Nanny Fiona read them a funny story. After that, it was time for porridge, and when it was gobbled, the day continued with a singing moment. As usual, Andy got a little too excited. "Oh, that Andy! He doesn't have the best ear for music, but his voice is even more amazing," thought Mandy. Since the weather was beautiful, they went on a little nature trip to the nearby countryside. On the way, Andy saw a familiar-looking butterfly. "Those same butterflies are in our backyard too," he exclaimed. After returning from the trip, they started playing on the daycare's yard. There were all kinds of equipment and tools there. Andy and Cindy immediately rushed to the slide, but Mandy went to swing. Then someone suggested a one-leg jumping competition, and one was immediately put into action. Andy intended to take everyone's guesses right from the start. He stretched and stretched his jumps, but in the middle of it all, he fell on his stomach on the grass. It really pissed him off. In addition to a real kitchen, the daycare also had a play kitchen. There was a table with a basin full of modeling clay under the middle cover. Mandy quickly created a handsome horse, and Cindy a small house. Andy, on the other hand, seems to be having some troubles. While playing the hat round game, Andy was fooling around and pulled his hat so deep down on his head that he couldn't see a thing. Hey, is this some kind of blindfold game? He asked. In the game, The Crane and the Frog, one of the participants is a crane. He beats a drum and the others circle around him. When he stops drumming, the others stop and try not to move at all. The first person the crane notices moving becomes the crane in turn. Hans Hedgehog and Peter Pig are so small that they can play in the water pool. Andy would have liked to go in the pool too, but Nanny Fiona said it was only for smaller children. Yee-hoo! Exclaimed Peter Pig and splashed water so excitedly that Andy, who was standing nearby, also got his share. Soon it was time for dinner. Mandy and Cindy set the tables, while Andy and Hans Hedgehog helped as well as they could. And then to eat. It seems like Andy likes the food, even though it's not the real one Uncle Tobias made, laughed Mandy. After eating and brushing their teeth, it was time for a nap. Andy must have been a little nervous about the strange place, because he couldn't sleep at all. Did I eat too much of that potato soup? He wondered. Or maybe too little. After the nap, the children had a snack and then went to the yard to play. Mandy found a hula hoop and Andy jumped on the car tire swing. Later, Andy played in the sandbox with Billy Bear and Hans Hedgehog. In the midst of it all, however, he got really sleepy. His eyes simply wouldn't stay open. Then it was already late afternoon, and Cindy's mother and Uncle Tobias came to pick up the children. So, how has the time passed here? Uncle Tobias asked Mandy. It's been fun here, she assured him, and told him what they had been up to during the day. You've been busy. How did you manage to do everything? Uncle Tobias wondered. But where is Andy? Is the boy hiding? Andy, shouted Nanny Fiona. Where are you? Uncle Tobias has come to get you. No answer. They searched the yard everywhere, but Andy was nowhere to be found. Finally they went to look inside the house, and there Andy was found, sleeping in a bed. So this is how our Andy gets to know the daycare, laughed Uncle Tobias. That's what happens when you don't take a nap, said Mandy. But Andy just said, and which meant the end.